just started thinking, what would you do? Would I sell my house? Would you sell your house to put your kid through university?
And how far would you go to help someone else? What would you sacrifice and give up?
Hi, I'm Sans.
And I'm Shira.
This is Gift of the Gab,
where we take contemporary issues and look at them through a giving lens. Sans, you showed me an amazing post on social media the other day.
Which one was that?
It was about something that a lady sacrificed.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Amazing story. And I thought that would be a great topic today to talk about. What would you sacrifice?
This is a biggie.
For someone else.
Right. So this is an amazing story by a great friend of mine, David Akinen. Mm-hmm. David lives in Namibia. And he moved there a number of years ago, and he started building houses and clinics, etc. And he was one day building a house or a clinic there, and he was on the roof, and a woman was standing there, and she had a little baby in her arms, and she was standing, and she waited hours, and he was building, working, and then he came down, and she said, "Do you have any offcuts of the tin so that I could make myself a house?" Now he knew
she wants to build herself a house.
Yeah. With like little offcuts of aluminium or whatever it was, and like zinc. And he said, "Hold on one second, but isn't that your house there? You've got a nice stone house, little garden, And she said, "Yes, but I've sold my house because I'm trying to put my eldest daughter through university." Wow. So he was like, "Wait 1 second, hold on. This is ridiculous. Like, you've just sold your house to do this." And he said, "Why would you do that? You're going to be homeless." She said, "I know, but let me explain something. My grandmother was poor. My mother's poor. I'm living in poverty. I have to do something to break the cycle. I have to change the cycle. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I get my daughter through university. If I can put her through university, she's got a chance of actually making something of her life and making some money." I was blown away by that. Now, it ends happily because David actually bought the house from the buyer.
Wow.
He then went to the daughter and said, "Listen, you go to university, but you're going to come and work for my company. I'm going to pay you this amount a month." This woman was being paid, no jokes, £40 a month. That was her earnings.
£40.
That's what they earn.
Heartbreaking.
So you're never going to get out of that poverty trap. Yeah. So bottom line is, he got the daughter a job in his company after hours. She started working for him. Mm-hmm. Within 1 year, she had bought the house. The house was only worth £900.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah. Hard to imagine.
I guess that's where the £40 goes.
Right. So, £900 house. And bottom line is, in the end, she, fast forward 4 years, she became a teacher.
The daughter
went to university, became a teacher, got a job, and she works in a school that her little sister is at now. Oh. And it's just unbelievable. And now David gave the mother a job, and she works now for his company at Tainu, which he's a different level, and we could talk all day about him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a superstar. But it's a great ending. But then I just started thinking, hold on one second, what would you do? Would I sell my house? I don't own a house, but would you sell your house to put your kid through university? It's crazy.
And how far would you go to help someone else? What would you sacrifice and give up? It's
so
incredible.
that's I think a great question, and that's what that story.
I mean, you've used an extreme example.
It is, but there's even an extreme example.
Yeah.
I mean, we always hear about it, like giving up one's life.
It's true.
For a cause. That's you've paid the ultimate price.
But you're saying that's giving? Is that giving?
Of course it is. You've given your life to protect a country, to protect your family. And, I just remember reading about the flag bearer in the wars of days gone by. Now, he would run, or she would run in with the flag. Now, at one point, they were, very respectful of and no one shot the person. But then people realized, well, if I shoot that person, he falls, the flag falls, the people, that side
morale goes down.
The morale.
Amazing.
So that person knew when they were when they were given that flag, bottom line is they might not see out the day. they would go into war running forward and be the first person being attacked, being shot at. So is that giving? I don't know.
Well,
is that giving? Look, that's a bit of an order.
Within
it's a
an army
command.
setting, exactly, it's an order. It's not really giving.
Okay, but any person that goes into army, we know, look, people are giving up they give up their lives. They have chosen to go to give up their life to fight for a country. And I know, like I used to say, if something would happen and people attack, if the enemies attacked Israel, I will get up and I'll go and fight for the country.
But would you?
Right. I don't know. Like, it's what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah. I mean, this is a really interesting point for me because of my sister.
Yeah,
my sister Karen. She's very successful. She was in the IDF for I think 10 years in the Israeli army. Worked her way up. She was a spokesperson for the Northern Command, and she's worked for the Israeli government. And her whole life has been devoted to Israel and to protecting the land. And so much so that at 7:48 p.m. every single day, she stands up, she sings the Israeli national anthem. She's
really?
Hardcore.
Wow.
And people will meet me in the street and think that I'm her because we look quite similar.
You do look very, very similar.
They'll stop me in the street and they'll say, "Oh, you're amazing. I love what you're doing." And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm the sister." My sister finds
you are doing great stuff.
Well, my sister finds it really funny because she's like, "But Shira, you're the kind one. You're doing all this stuff at Gift, and all I'm doing is Israel." And I always have the same conversation with her, basically saying to her, "What you're doing is no less kind."
Of course, it's massive.
You are, and so I guess what you're saying is correct because there is an element of kindness and sacrifice and doing something for something that you care about.
I just wanted to interrupt to encourage you to subscribe or follow on any of the platforms that you are listening on. It really means a lot to us. I just think, and I see it today, and we're living in a world that everything is so easy, and we're trying to create an environment where giving's cool, giving's fun, giving's nice to do. Convenient. Oh, you went there. At what point were you willing to be a bit uncomfortable to give? Well, I remember one of my friends saying he was fundraising for something, and he said to this youngster, he said, "Give till it hurts." And I love that.
That's a great line.
It's like, it's easy to just dip in and put a few pennies in here, but give when it really makes you feel a little bit squeamish.
Feel the pinch.
Yeah, feel a bit of a...
But what about when it's really painful, though? Should you still be giving?
Right.
When it's like, should I be giving away half my salary?
Well, no, we know we've got Jewish law that says we shouldn't, and you should give 10% of your salary, and there's lots of backs and forwards of what that entails and encompasses, and you're up to 20% if you are able. Having said that, even that is quite uncomfortable for people. If the whole world was giving 10%, the world would look very different.
I mean, you've got Bill Gates and Warren Buffett who are giving 99% of their salary, but still probably not feeling the pinch. I don't know.
Right. It's an amazing thing.
It's the most incredible thing
So that's the question.
That.
Why have they been willing to do that? And some people find it so hard. And also, I don't know. I just don't know at what point do we see our generation coming up, the younger generation being willing to do the hard yards, to sacrifice. And let's even step back and not your life. But when it's difficult, when it goes, we had this guy coming here the other day into our office. It blew my mind. He's unable.
I was thinking of him as well.
Oh, do you want to say this?
Well, it's an incredible thing because we find that when we post delivery opportunities for Gift, driving opportunities, we'll post something. The local ones are more likely to be taken because it's Hendon, it's Golders Green, it's 10 minutes away. It'll be a quick part of my day. And then we have the further away deliveries.
Which is still amazing.
Which is still incredible.
Driving in this town is not simple.
Any volunteering is amazing, but you have the further away ones like Stepney, which is, we'll be picking up from Hendon, going to Stepney, delivering there, and then coming back. It's a long journey.
Right.
And there's this one guy who does not drive, an amazing volunteer. His name's Robert. I will say his name because he's not embarrassed to say it. A great guy, and he takes the bus every single day, picks up the deliveries once a week, picks up the deliveries from Gift, goes on the bus and delivers them to really far places on the buses. 3
buses.
How many hours is a round trip?
I think he said like 3 or 3.5 hours. It's his afternoon.
He spends his day doing this.
It's unbelievable for one family out somewhere in who knows where. It's incredible. When he told, I was in awe of the guy. I was just, this is off the charts. Would I do that? I don't know.
Should you do that?
I don't know either. These are great questions. I'm not sure.
Bringing it back to the first person that you mentioned, David Akinen from Namibia. One of the reasons why I like to bring him as a role model to students in high schools, he's spoken to a couple of high schools before for me, is because he's a great example of someone that's gone out there to Namibia doing amazing things, building houses, incredible stuff. And yet he still also managed to make a profit. He's still got a great business model going on. He's doing so much kindness. It's off the charts, as you said. It's
countrywide level.
Yeah. He's created the first kind of Tesco delivery type thing in Namibia and building houses and building schools and all these different things.
He's a superstar.
But yet he's still managed to work on making a profit and building a proper company.
Right. And he should have,
And I find that's a great role model for kids. It's not saying sacrifice every single thing. Don't live in the dirt, a mud hut.
100%. No, that's not the point of it. You're right. I'm just trying to think. I'm still thinking about Robert. Still thinking about Robert. I just think of how many buses. What a mission.
Yeah.
What a boss. I love that.
It's amazing.
So, so I don't know. Where are we going with this? Are we...
I guess on a small level, we're not sacrificing your life, not spend a day on the bus, but sometimes we're asked to do things and we're like, but I really want that thing. Or I'm walking past, I've got a granola bar in my bag and I'm in town and I walk past a homeless person.
Right.
I can give them my granola bar, but then I won't have one for myself. But then again, I'm not starving hungry.
Right. Well, I think the key for me to take home from this is just to understand that it's okay to feel a bit of the pain. As my mate said, give till it hurts.
Yeah.
It's okay that too.
Well, referring back to the podcast about the episode about your dad.
Yeah, of course.
If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend go listen to it. The burger that changed
my life.
The burger that changed my life. But that burger story, I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't heard it, but the burger story of your dad giving up something that he wanted to eat, that he didn't have a chance to eat that day for someone else is amazing.
So I think what we've seen is, as we always say, and this is one of the big things we say at Gift is, to build the giving muscle. We all know that when you get into the gym, you're never going to build muscle by doing light weights or doing things that are too easy. It's got to become harder and harder, and eventually that harder becomes normal and more normal and more normal. And you know what? And all of a sudden you're doing stuff. I remember just very quickly. I coached a guy privately in Israel, and I'm not kidding. He couldn't do 3 push-ups. When I started with him, he was about 13 or 14. He could not do 3 push-ups in a row. By the time we finished about 2 years later, he went to a dojo, a judo hall in Tel Aviv, and they actually asked him to leave because he just beat everyone up.
Wow.
And he was so strong and had really developed into a machine, but strong and judo-wise and everything. And he started with nothing. But he kept building, we kept building, and I knew, this is the way he's going to become stronger and stronger. And she was doing 100 push-ups and doing crazy stuff.
And I see where you're going with this. Had you have said to him, don't worry, I won't make you do any more press-ups because you can't. And let's play it safe. I don't want you to be in pain, so just don't do that. Just
it doesn't work.
Nothing would have happened to him.
You've got to build the giving muscle by feeling a little bit, putting it under a bit of strain.
Yeah.
Eventually. And it's nice to get into the rhythm, but then eventually it's got to work a bit. So I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. And, until the next time, keep doing good things.
Gift's mission is to inspire and enable lifelong giving. Subscribe to Gift of the Gab podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And feel free to drop us a note at podcast@jgift.org if you have any comments or any suggestions of what we should be talking about in future. And of course, check us out on social media @Gift Charity for ways to get involved.